Hi guys, good evening. So let's begin the post-grad seminar for Instrumentation Engineering stream. Okay, since you guys know that instrumentation is supposed to be a very low competition course, but it comes with a heavy price because you don't have much opportunities as well. Many of the institutes in India, they give you, like for example in Iit Madras, where I am studying, I've done my MTech there. We have 9 students in the stream right now, and 11 students before that, and about 10 students before that. So you can imagine, even if you have a rank of say 25, 30, it's a bit difficult to get into the top IITs and IISs. But the most important thing about instrumentation is not where do you want to get into and all those things. It's about the placements and the research. See, the instrumentation is very well known for its research more than its placements and all those things. So in terms of the research, we have 2 streams after this. We have one is control instrumentation and one is instrumentation, right? So if you get into control, you have opportunities in robotics, and if you go to instrumentation, you have opportunities in biomedical instrumentation, optical instrumentation, and so on, analytical instrumentation, and so on and so forth. So it is important for you to understand which side you want to go first. Would you like to go into the research? I mean, after your MTech or MS or PhD, would you get into the research part, or would you go into a job part? So once that decision is clear, then you can take a confident step right now. So I would like all of you to think for a moment and decide whether you want to take a research career or you want to take a job career. I'll explain the both in short time, but it's important for you to be clear of what you want. Okay. As you are thinking, let me get into the details of how these institutes are ordered and how they are. What kind of opportunities they give to each one of us. Let us begin with, for general idea, I'll divide the institutes into IITs, IISc, and then the others, like the new IITs and NITs and BITS, Pilani, and so on. Okay. So when I say that a person with a rank of 100 can get into the IISc Bangalore, I'm talking about not only about the MTech program or ME program, but I'm talking about any place into IISc Bangalore. So with that statistics in mind, so I have a small list for you. Any person who has got a rank below 100, he can get into IISc Bangalore or Iit Bombay. These are supposed to be the highest in the country right now. Okay, and with a rank of below 300, you can get into Delhi, Kanpur, or Iit Madras. And till 600, you can go to Kharagpur. Till about 1000, you can enter into the older IITs like IIT Guwahati, Roorkee, IIT BHU. And if your rank is above 1000 and say below 1500, then you can get into the new IITs like Hyderabad, Patna, and so on, and also into the NITs like Surathkal, Trichy, and so on. And if your rank is above 1500, do not get discouraged. You can get into the private sectors and BHUs and Delhi colleges and so on. One important thing to know here is that it's not necessary that you have to have a very good score and a very good rank to get into, say, IISc Bangalore. IISc Bangalore offers a lot of courses. It offers courses in, let us begin with that actually. So let me talk about IISc Bangalore first. So in IISc Bangalore, we have about four kinds of opportunities here. We have ME, MTech, and then PhD courses and MS courses and so on. So let's say you have a rank below 30, then you can expect a direct admission into instrumentation and applied physics. In case my voice is not clear or something, just post a comment. Okay. So if you have a rank below 30, then you can get a direct admission into Instrumentation and Applied Physics department of IISc Bangalore. But IISc Bangalore has a unique opportunity of writing its own exam later on in April. So even if your rank is not so good, and if you're determined to get into IISc Bangalore, then do check up the website, and you'll find out there that there is an opportunity for you to write another exam in the month of April and then get into IISc Bangalore. This is a very unique opportunity of IISc Bangalore. Now, let's say your rank is not below 30, it is somewhere between 30 and 100. Then you can get into departments in Instrumentation and Applied Physics with Masters in Sciences, or a PhD program there, or so on. But remember that IISc Bangalore is known for its research, not very much for its placements. So a person who has a very research-oriented mind should definitely take a chance in IISc Bangalore. Okay? So I mentioned about the special program in IISc Bangalore, right? You can always take an exam in the month of April and go on. Another important thing about IISc Bangalore is that, by the way, think about instrumentation department students. People who have written their GATE exam in instrumentation engineering, they have, since they have done their BTech in instrumentation, most probably, they cannot apply to all the streams in all the departments in all the colleges. That is a freedom that is given to ECE and EEE students. So, but the other way is actually possible. A person who has written an ECE and EEE, he can actually apply for instrumentation and applied physics in all of the institutes. So you not only have competition with your guys, but you also have competition with those who have scored a larger ranks in ECE and EEE. So be aware of that when you apply for these institutes. Okay. So yeah. So now coming back to the IISc Bangalore. So no matter what your rank is below 100, you can always go and apply for IISc Bangalore and hope to get a call from them. People who are below 30, they'll get a direct admission, and people who are above 30, they'll be called for an interview and test, and then after that you can go ahead with the interview, clear it, and then you can get into IISc Bangalore. And then we have IIT Bombay, right? Okay, IIT Bombay. In IIT Bombay, we have primarily four departments, four parts of electrical engineering where you can get into. First one is control and computing, which deals mostly with control kind of programs like control engineering and Hypno-based functions and so on. And then we have power electronics and power systems, microelectronics and electronic systems. One thing about IIT Bombay is that they have two kinds of admissions. One, again like IISc Bangalore, we have direct admission, and then we have interview, which are quality of some of the departments. Now, if your rank is say above 50 and below 150 or something, then you can expect to get a direct call from IIT Bombay for your any of these four departments. But in case your rank is say somewhere below 600, but still within the range of 150 to 600, then you can expect. You can still apply for the institute, but you can expect a call with interviews and tests and so on. So you can go to their place, write the test, clear the interview, and then you are into IIT Bombay as well. So, and then you have the privilege of studying with the same students who have got below 100 and so on. So these institutes are trying to recruit as many students as possible. So it's a great hope for us. And from our side, it's our part to go and attempt all these exams and then clear it and then enter into the institutes. Okay. So then let's move on to IIT Delhi. IIT Delhi has, I would say, a slightly strict policy regarding the students who can apply there. So they have, even they have this concept of direct admission versus interview. People who have direct admissions, they need a very high CGPA, like they need a CGPA of 8.5 in their BTech degrees, and also, or if you're in a percentile system, they need a percentile of at least 75%. But if you want to go for a test or an interview, it's slightly different. In that case, what you have to do is you have to have a minimum percentage of 60% or a CGPA of 6.75. So with this in mind, you can apply for IIT Delhi. Okay, but IIT Delhi is a very good institute, I would say. It also has a lot of streams. A known thing about these IITs is that they offer not only department-specific jobs like instrumentation, physics, or so on, but they have interdepartmental disciplines. So you can always grab onto those. So in case of IIT Delhi, we have a lot of interdepartmental disciplines. For example, if you go to specifically electrical engineering, we have control automation and power electronics, electrical machines and drives, and power systems. You have 3 courses there. But however, if you get into interdepartmental disciplines like mechanical engineering, then you can get into industrial engineering. And if you can get into instrument technology, industrial design, or masters by research. But remember that in all these cases, you always have a procedure of interview plus your gate score. It's like 70-30 basis, 70% of that and 30% of this. And then let's move on to IIT Kanpur. In IIT Kanpur, people with instrumentation have 2 or 3 disciplines. I think it is power control and microelectronics VLSI design. So, even in case of IIT Kanpur, we have additional interdepartmental disciplines. But please note that the tests in case of IIT Kanpur are not just technical tests. They include aptitude tests as well. So if you are planning to prepare for IIT Kanpur, then please make sure that you prepare aptitude of your GATE syllabus and a little more than that. Okay? And then interviews as well. By the way, as important note about these interviews, I have a lot of friends who told me that the persons in the interviewers, they do not look for how much knowledge you are holding in your mind. All they look for is how much capacity you have to express yourself. How much concepts you have in the subject. So what they do is they'll push you till the edge, till you can stop answering, and then they will evaluate how you have answered the question, not that whether you have answered the question or not. In fact, most of my friends who did not answer a single question perfectly, they are able to clear the interviews. So it is not that they are seeing how many marks, or how many questions they are able to clear. They are seeing what is your way of approaching to those questions. Okay. So if your approach is good and if your concepts are strong, they are more than happy to take you because you already cleared gate and you are valuable for them and they want students like you, so they are more interested to take you. So please be confident and answer the questions in a very conceptual manner rather than beating around the bush. Okay. Yeah, so in IIT Kanpur as well, we have many interdepartmental disciplines like management, science and information system, designs, environmental designs and so on, which are open for instrumentation streams. Okay. Then we have IIT Madras, which where I am studying currently. So in IIT Madras, we have 5 disciplines in electronics, in electrical engineering department, out of which only 2 are open for instrumentation engineers, control instrumentation and photonics. And please note here that the students who are part of the control instrumentation group, they are not only from instrumentation engineering but also from electrical communication branch and electrical engineering branch as well. So you have to have competition with all the branches. And when you sit for placements, I'll come to placements later on anyway. So in control instrumentation and photonics groups, these are the 2 groups that are there in IIT Madras. And the most favorite thing for me, at least, about IIT Madras is that they don't have any interviews whatsoever. They just see your gate score and they take you. Finished. End of story. So that is one cool thing about IIT Madras. And the placements are also pretty good there. Now let us move on to the group 3, which is IIT Kharagpur. I told you that at IIT Kharagpur the ranks can go till 600 and we can still expect a call from them. So in case of IIT Kharagpur, we have the interview it's a very elaborate procedure. You have group discussions and then you have a motivation and aptitude program. You have a communication skills test, and then you have skills in basic engineering and basic sciences and all those things. So I've heard from many people that it is IIT Kharagpur is a place where until unless you have skills in interviews, it's very difficult to clear there. Yeah, IIT Kharagpur also offers many branches for instrumentation students, beginning with control system engineering and instrumentation. In IIT Madras, it is both together. We have control and instrumentation. Whereas in IIT Kharagpur, they offer it as 2 different branches: control systems engineering and instrumentation engineering. See, the idea behind offering this control along with instrumentation is that at the undergraduate level, most of the institutes are offering instrumentation along with control. So they have their BTech in control instrumentation, or institutes like Pilani and all, they have their BE in electronics and instrumentation. And many other institutes offer only instrumentation. So since they want to combine all the students for this instrumentation examination, what they try to do is they'll put courses their MTech graduate level courses will have both control and instrumentation as well. So that people who have come from control background also can be able to understand and assimilate the subject that is going on there. So that is why we have IIT Kanpur offering both control and instrumentation. And when it comes to interdepartmental disciplines, we have industrial engineering, solid state technology, and human resources development. I don't know how many of you might be interested for that, but anyway, I'm just telling you the overall idea of what is happening everywhere. And then when you go to IIT Roorkee, IIT Roorkee is also known for its interviews. What they do is they have, since by this time the gate score has gone very low, so they want to check the students whether they have actually cracked it or whether they have, just out of fluke they have got it. So with that in mind, what they do is they will have an interview always. So in case of IIT Roorkee, it is very, very specific actually. They have to have a gate score weightage is about 70%, and the remaining 30% is your interview. So even if your gate score is low, you can go there and do the interview very well, and still, you can bypass all the students who are above you, and you can get into IIT Roorkee. That is one good thing about IIT Roorkee. One of my friends has done that actually in the past. Okay. So the streams that IIT Roorkee offers is MTech in instrumentation and signal processing, power apparatus and electrical drives, power system engineering, and systems and control. So these are the various fields that are there in IIT Roorkee. And then we have IIT Guwahati, where it's the same thing after this. After this, all the institutes have the basic courses, and they are interested in gate score as well as the interview. So IIT Guwahati is offering MTech in VLSI, applied control, communication engineering, as well as computer sciences. By the way, I forgot to tell this during IISc Bangalore. With your gate scores, you can apply for any department you want in IISc Bangalore. For example, even computer science. So when I was just cleared gate, I got an offer from IISc Bangalore saying that if you're interested in computer science, you can come and join us as well. So I gone there, I wrote the test, but anyway, I was competing with the cream of the country in computer science, so I could not clear it. But that is the idea. If you want to get into computer science after doing your BTech in instrumentation and pursue your masters in computer science, if you are a nerd in that sense, then please go ahead and apply for computer science and clear it. Then you'll be able to do it. Okay. And then we have IIT Banaras and IIT Bhubaneswar, all these new IITs which are there, they have their own standard disciplines. And they offer this course as well. Some important things about the PSUs and all. Yeah, regarding any questions you have about these new IITs, I'll answer in the Q&A part. Okay. One thing about Pilani is a very reputed institute, so I have to speak about it. Also, I am partial because I have done my BTech there. Pilani does not care so much about the GATE score. What it does is it puts its own online exam in the month of April or May. And see, GATE you can use as a practice for writing an exam in Pilani. So one of my friends has done his masters there and he's now happy sitting in Bangalore. So the thing is, even if you have not a very good GATE score and you have confidence that if you work for 2 months more and if you can gather enough subject, then you can write the exam in Pilani. And by doing that, you can clear that exam and then join in Pilani or Hyderabad or Goa. And then you'll get your masters from there, and then placements are not so bad. So that is one opportunity for you, even if your score is not so good. Okay. Then about PSUs. As I told in the beginning, instrumentation we have very less competition in terms of number of students who are applying for the exam, but we also have very less opportunities. So we don't have many PSUs, but I'll tell you the list of what we have. We have IOCL, NALCO, NFL, NLC, and GALE, and also we have companies like SAIL, RVP, and ONGC. So please beware of when they are opening their dates and admission dates and all procedures and all those things. And as soon as possible, try to apply for these institutes with your GATE scores. If your rank is say below anywhere below 1,500 or so, you can expect a call. It's not that I'm saying it as a strict restriction, but you can always expect a call from them. It all depends upon how the students want to take their careers. Do they want to get into instrumentation is a field where it's not very easily predictable. Most of the time it is based upon research, and people are switching from research to jobs and so on. It is going either ways. So this year's statistics I'm not very sure how it will switch on to, but it's always good to apply for these PSUs and be ready for their interviews. Once you clear that, you have a very good job in your hands. They offer packages like, for example, IOCL offers a 10.5 lakhs package, and NALCO offers about 40,000 a month. Okay, and NFL about 7 lakhs package, NLC about 6.15 lakhs package, and GALE about 7 to 8 lakhs package. So these are pretty good packages. If you have a very, very good GATE score and a very good GATE rank, and if getting into IITs, like Iit Madras or Bombay or Kanpur or so on, Delhi and so on, then you can expect a very good job after that. But in case you are not having a very good score and you are afraid to get into NITs or something, I would say first of all give it a try for these PSUs. And if you don't get into this, then get into NITs and so on. Only get into NITs and all only when you have a very strong zeal for getting into PhD and becoming a professor or getting into research or something. Okay. So this is like an overview about what the general doubts are regarding getting into the institutes after your GATE examination. There are some more notes which I want to tell you. Okay, let us get into Q&A session, and then whatever doubts come, we can pick them up as we are going along. One small thing before we begin that. If your rank is about 2,500 and so on, then you always have an opportunity to do your masters in private colleges. Don't leave them aside. The standard is not so bad, but I would recommend you that since you have gotten a rank of, if your rank is about 2,500, then your marks should be somewhere around 30 to 35 maybe. So if your marks are already 35, and instrumentation, if you have a marks of 60, then you're already at the country topper. So why don't you work a little harder and get a very good score and then join? You just have to work a little harder. So if you can somehow clear those 20 marks more, which is about 2 subjects more, then you can easily clear your GATE in the next year and then get into a very good institute. It will not waste you a year. This time you can get into some NITs and get a feel of the subjects, and at the same time prepare for your next GATE and get into a better institute. It will hardly waste 1 year, but it is worth it. The climate and environment that is there in IITs and ISC Bangalore, it really humbles you, because when you are sitting around a class of 50 students, 100 students, and you are good in the class, you feel you are a very good student. But when you go into an IIT and sit in that class where everybody is a topper of the country, then you really are humbled, and you get a zeal to study more and explore more areas and so on. So if your score is not very high, and if you think that if I put a little more effort, I can get into, I can clear this grade, I can crack it, and you can get into better colleges, then please attempt for it. Don't give hopes. Don't give up your hopes. So with this in mind, let us start our Q&A session. Mr. Gausul asked for his gate score is 419, and he says, what is my best opinion? Yeah, if your gate score is 419, then you have a very good opportunity in IIT Kharagpur. Delhi, Kanpur and Madras might be a little difficult, but Kharagpur and Guwahati and Roorkee might be a very good option for you. But remember that I am talking about MS programs and PhD programs as well. So, by the way, since it is time now, I'll elaborate more upon MS programs. If your interest is in research, then MS program would be a very good opportunity for you, because it's not so difficult to get into an MS program as it is compared to get into an ME or an MTech program. So what some of my friends have done is, they've gotten into an MS program, and once they come there, they have requested the professor and then converted it into a PhD program. Now what happens is, a person who has come as an MS student and has converted into a PhD program, he gets two benefits. First thing is that he has cut down his time by half. He doesn't have to do his masters, he is already getting his PhD. And second thing is that they get two offers to go abroad and present their conferences, one for their MS and one for their PhD. And seeing the interest of the students nowadays, what these IITs and ISs have done is, they have launched a discussion panel where they are now rightly discussing that if a person has come for an MS program and he has slided up to a PhD program, then why not give them both the degrees? We don't want to withdraw all the degrees to us. The student is interested, let us give them both the degrees. So if the student has come for an MS program and he has shifted to PhD program, they are considering to give both the degrees to the student. So it's a very good advantage for you. So please keep that in mind when you're going for an MS program. So you have a rank of a score of 417. So with that, your rank of 417. With that in mind, you can apply for IIT Kharagpur, join an MS program, and then if you are really interested in your research program, then you can slide to PhD as well. So that is what I would say for your score. Next is Mr. Shaswat. He has a rank of 539. Yeah, the same thing with him as well. So you have options in IIT. He has asked what are my options in IIT. So you have options in IIT Kharagpur, IIT Guwahati, Roorkee, and IIT BHU as well. So with these in mind, you can apply for these institutes for your masters with research or masters with or your PhD programs, and see if you can actually squeeze into the MTech program as well. So if it is, as I told you before, these IITs are interested in getting the students for master's programs. So you get your scores, you apply for that. What they do is, they will screen the students who have very good scores, and they will give them direct admission. And those who have a little larger ranks and all, they will take them and give them a call for interview. And once you clear the interview, you're into the same stream which has gotten with 150 rank or 200 rank or so on. So you can actually have the benefit of sliding yourself up even now. Even if your gate score is not so good, you can even slide up to the rank of 50 or 60. That is the advantage with that. The next question is from Mr. Apurva Das. His rank is 1656. What would be my options? I belong to SC category. Well, I don't have the details about SC category, but let us take a wild guess and say your rank in general category would now be 1000 or say 900. So with that in mind, you have an option with IIT Roorkee, IIT Guwahati or IIT BHU. IIT Kharagpur might be a little difficult for you, but definitely when it comes to IITs like Roorkee and Guwahati, you still have an option with that. So please do try for that and look on for your MS as well as PhD careers if you are interested in research. But if you're not interested in research, then you better go for NITs and somewhere and finish your masters there. Placements, just compare the placement between IIT Roorkee and NITs. That is one thing that I would tell you. The next is Mr. Gausul Alam. His rank is 690. Yeah, you do have a very good choice in getting into good universities. Like when I say good, it is IIT Kharagpur, IIT Guwahati, Roorkee, BHU. So when you have this rank, you can definitely apply for those institutes and try for masters by research and PhD programs. That's a very good option actually. And if you want to go for MTech only or ME only, then you can always apply for NITs as well or new IITs where you can comfortably get into. If you want to get into master's program only, then you will comfortably get into IITs and NITs and so on. But if you want to get into a premier IIT institute like Roorkee or Guwahati, then you can go for a MS or PhD program. One advantage is that though you are getting into an MS program, there is not much distinction between these two. So you will be treated at the same level as the MTech students. So that will force you to work harder and bring yourself up to the level of MTech and IIT students. Sorry, MTech and ME students. Okay. So I would suggest that if you are interested in research or getting to know the depths of your subject, then please get into higher IITs. Even if get into an MS program, that is fine. But if you want to get into a job, then it's better to get into an MTech or ME program somewhere. Yes. Mr. Shadan Mahatab has a rank of 275. What are the chances of getting MTech in Biomedical Engineering IIT Bombay, Madras, Hyderabad or BHU? Yeah, first of all, Madras doesn't have a stream in Biomedical Engineering. I'm not so sure. But in IIT Bombay, one of my friends had a rank of 250 about 2 years back, and he has gotten a call from IIT Bombay with the same department here. So definitely, I think you also have a hope with that. You please apply for IIT Bombay. Once again, the same argument comes here as well. If you have an opportunity to get into IIT Bombay, then please do get into there, because you'll be competing with the cream of the country. I mean, the top cream of the country. So your capacity will itself be pushed up. But at the same time, it is always good to inquire about if you're looking for placements there. It's always good to ask some of the students who are working there right now about the placements there, because placements are always a very wild guess for me. I mean, any person who is standing here, it's very difficult to guess about the placements. So I request you to consult someone who is in that place about the placements there. Or there is another way. You can actually drop a mail to info@thegateacademy.com. They will reply to you within 72 hours. So they do have a lot of students from their own institute who have in so many IITs. They can always catch up with those guys and give you a reply within 72 hours. That is one way I would say. Then I have he has a rank from IR rank of 37. He's asking, will I get a call from BARC without writing BARC's exam? I'm not very much sure about this, because I don't have the statistics of BARC with me right now. I would request you to drop in a mail to info@thegateacademy.com. They have further statistics about this kind of thing. But BARC, as far as I know, they're interested for people who are below 50 in AR. So they are sure to take you. But whether they'll take you directly or whether they will have an interview before that is what I'm doubtful about, which the info people might help you with. Next we have Tanya Das, who has a rank of 374 in general category. Is it possible to get into any good NIT or BARC with a gate score of 506? I have written the BARC exam also. Okay, nice. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, with a rank of 374, you can get into IITs as well for masters. But if you are aiming for NITs, if you are aiming for MTech or MTech or ME programs, then you can get into any of the IITs, any of the new IITs actually. So you have a very good options in that sense. So, but I would say you can try. In fact, 374 is a good rank, and you can try for Kharagpur and Kanpur as well for masters in research, masters by research, and you can definitely get into Guwahati and Roorkee. It's not a problem at all. But if you want to try for MTech, definitely, then you can try for new IITs or for NITs. NIT Surathkal, NIT Tirchi. These are really good places. NIT Calicut. I have my friends studying there, and now they are doing much better. So much better than me actually. So please look at that. It's not that it is a bad college or something. You always have a very good thing. It depends upon how hard you work. That's all. We then have Srinath. He has a rank of 82. Oh, 82. Okay. So how to choose and what factors to be considered? With 82, you can actually get into most of the IITs, but may not be for MTech program, but definitely for MS program. Okay, I'll go in this way. IIT Madras closes its MTech at 25-30 ranks. Okay, and IIC Bangalore closes its Instrumentation and Physics with the same 30 to 40 ranks. So, it can always go up and down. It's not that I am deciding it. But if you want to get into IISc Bangalore for research, then you have a very good chance in that. If you want to get into MSc program or PhD program in IISc Bangalore, where the research is really good, then you have a very good chance for that. But if you want to get into an MTech program and go for your placements, then I would say you better apply for Delhi or Kanpur or Madras. Sorry, Delhi or Kanpur, where you can actually hope for getting into directly. Direct admission might be possible. Okay, and Kharagpur is also an option for you. But the thing is, no matter what, except IIT Madras, all the institutes have interview plus test. So be revising your concepts and everything, so that you'll be ready for the interviews and tests again. And the tests are, the interviews are designed in such a way that they will not test your, how much you have a overall idea. What they will test is how deeply can you go into a subject. So I have heard questions where, one person told I am interested in integration. So they have gone so deeply into the question that they have asked, what if you differentiate and integrate just x square? And they have gone to a level where they have disproved basic integration mathematics. So that's what they are looking for. They are looking how deep are your concepts. They are not looking for your, how much can you touch up in all the subjects. That's not what they are interested in. They are interested in how deep can you go in a single subject in a single point. That's what they are aiming for. Okay. The next one is Saraswati Mukherjee, he has they have a rank of 539. They're asking for top IITs and MTech and MS program. MTech and MS program, that is good. So if you are looking for MS program, then you can get into Delhi, Kanpur or Madras. Because in Madras they have a scheme of, they'll have a minimum gate score. This seems to be your score or rank? Rank. Okay, so this is your rank. So with that rank in mind, you can actually apply for, if your rank is that, then you definitely have a very good score. So with that you can apply for MS in even in IIT Madras, IIT Delhi and IIT Kanpur. Okay, so and once you clear their interviews and tests, it's actually a very interesting thing. All they need for your MS program is that you have to qualify GATE and have a minimum of GATE, this much GATE score. And beyond that, they have their own test and interview. So it all depends on how well you perform in their test and their interview. They're least bothered about a GATE score and your BTech performance. They're least bothered about that. My BTech performance is not very good, but still they were interested in my GATE score. They're interested in my test performance and the interview after that. So please make sure of that. So please do not relax now. You keep your fundamentals brushed up so that you can apply for many institutes and be ready for that. Any more questions? So thanks for that. And if you have any further questions, then I'm ready to answer that. We still have some more time. Okay, since we have some time, I'll talk about the placements in different IITs. As I told you in the beginning of this discussion, that instrumentation is actually a research-oriented field. So when it comes to research, we have very good research in various institutes, like IIC Bangalore, IIT Madras, and Iit Bombay. Iit Bombay, especially for biomedical engineering, it's a really good field there. And we also have a very good field in controls, robotics and all those things in IIT Madras, and as well as in IIT Delhi as well. So we have various institutes that are interested to take students from instrumentation stream, like Tata Motors, TVS, Bosch, and we have so many foreign companies as well coming from various countries like Kenya, Japan, China, and so on, who are interested, and they offer a very good lucrative package actually. In fact, there is a Kenya-based company which I don't want to reveal the name of. It offers a package of 20 lakhs per annum, and after that everything is free for you. They take you from here and they make sure everything is done there. And we have companies like Tata Motors and all which offer packages around 9 lakhs, 10 lakhs and so on. So we do have a very good placement prospective in terms of instrumentation engineering stream, but it is also well known for its research part. Okay. Mr. Purushottam 837 is asking for, other than NITIE, is there any other institute providing industrial engineering? 1 second, I'll just check up for that. Bombay. Okay. We don't have any here. Instrumentation might not have clearance for that. Yeah, we have our IIT Delhi where industrial engineering is there. Yeah. In fact, it is from mechanical engineering. So in fact, we are applicable for that. Even if you have prerequisite bachelor degrees in instrumentation and you are clearing your exam in instrumentation, then you can apply for industrial engineering in IIT Delhi actually. Yes, exactly. So in Delhi we have, and since your rank is 37, I think it is you have a very good chance to get into IIT Delhi with that rank. I think it is very good chance. And then we have another question which says 539 rank. What are the chances in top IITs for MTech or MS? I have already answered that. Yeah. Yes. Okay. And then we have another question, 1656. What will be my options? I belong to SC category. So answered this before. I think I've answered this before. Okay. Okay, I think I mixed up the questions. The person with AR 37, Mr. Purushottam, he can get into IIT Delhi without any difficulty. But the person with another person has a rank of 539, yes, and he's asking for IIT Delhi. Yes, you have a chance. But IIT Delhi is a bit difficult. IIT Kanpur is good for you. Delhi is, it closes at 300. including the MS and PhD stream, Delhi closes at 300. So it might be a bit difficult for you with your rank to get into Iit Delhi. Okay, that's your answer. Okay. Then we have Apurva Das. He has a rank of 1656 and in the C category. Okay, so let us scale it down to say 900 in the general category. I'm not very sure of that. You might be better than that, or plus or minus 200-300. With that in mind, you can always get into IIT Guwahati and IIT Roorkee for masters in research program or PhD program. But if you want direct admissions, then you have to get into NITs or IITs. New IITs might be possible for you, but definitely not the premier IIT institutes where they have direct admission. But see, research, as I told you before, research is not as bad. So you can look up the options. You can choose your options carefully and then decide. Okay. So you have a rank of 690. 690 you can actually get into IIT Guwahati, IIT Roorkee with for MS and PhD courses. But if you want to get into direct admission, with test and interview for MTech programs for 2 years, I hope you all know that MS is for 3 years and MTech is for 2 years. That's a very important catch here. MS takes about 3 years and it needs at least one publication, at least in Iit Madras. And Masters in MTech doesn't need any publication. After 2 years, no matter what your project level is, they'll send you out. They'll give you graduation and send you out. Okay? Until unless the guide is specific for you to finish some work and you have not done anything at all, that is the only restriction there. Apart from that, MTech is definitely finishing in 2 years. But Masters in research can go on for 3.5 years in case you are not doing it so well. So if you are working hard, then it is good. Coming back to your question, if your rank is 1656, then you can, if it is 900 in general category, then you can always apply for IIT Guwahati, Roorkee and BHU, and you can actually expect an admission there. Then a rank of 690, you can always get into IIT, Kharagpur and so on. IIT Kharagpur might be good for you because you can get into masters in research and so on. But direct admission, you should look for NITs or new IITs. Okay, then we have which NITs are good in terms of placement. In which NITs can I get into with a rank of 600? With a rank of 600, I think you can get into almost any NITs. I think we have no problem in getting into any of the NITs. As far as the present statistics go, there are a lot of fluctuations nowadays, so I cannot be sure of that. But as of the present statistics, you can get into any NITs for now. And the placements part, I have known 3 friends from NITs who are currently in my lab, and all 3 have chosen to do PhD in Iit Madras, and they've gotten into very easily. So I'm not very much sure about the placements there, because they would have gone for placements if I don't know how well it is there. But it is definitely better than any other private colleges and so on. So that much I can, you also know that probably. Okay, my friend has got a rank of 1075. What are his chances? 1075 is actually right on the border for IIT Guwahati, Roorkee and IIT BHU. Since you are on the border, since your friend is on the border right now, I would suggest that he should try for these 3 institutes: IIT Guwahati, IIT Roorkee and IIT BHU. But if he wants to get into any of the new IITs like IIT Hyderabad, Patna and so on, just a minute. Yeah, there are so many IITs, right, in Bhubaneswar, Gandhinagar, Hyderabad, Indore and so on. These he can very easily get into. Okay? And also, since he is in the border of the 3 students, I'm telling both the sides. The first side is getting into IIT Roorkee, Guwahati, where he'll get into a masters for research program or PhD program. The second thing is he can get into the NITs or new IITs, where he can get into any of the departments very easily. That is the general idea. Which is the best institute for pursuing robotics and automation? Okay, it's a bit controversial, but anyway, I'm currently working in IIT Madras. I'm doing my PhD there, and I'm doing especially on robotics and automation. And partial to my institute and my work there, I can say that IIT Madras is pretty good at that. But we have a conference coming up in the near future. So, but yeah, I've also heard that robotics and automation is good in Delhi as well. And Mumbai also has a scope, and ISC Bangalore. But Delhi, I heard that it is at par, and Mumbai also is quite good. So I cannot be very. I have to be diplomatic in answering this question. I'm really sorry for that. Okay. Yeah, test patterns for IIT Kharagpur and disciplines that they offer in instrumentation students. Okay, I'll go back to IIT Kharagpur. Okay, this is the data for instrumentation, guys. In electrical engineering, we have control systems engineering and instrumentation engineering, two separate disciplines. And if you want to go for interdisciplinary courses, you have industrial engineering and management, solid state technology, and human resources. Okay. So please note that in IIT Kharagpur, you have two different schemes. One is two as in the first part, the 70% of your weightage lies in your gate score, and 30% lies in your interview. So if you can clear your interview very well, then you still have an opportunity to get into IIT Kharagpur. So what they try to do is they will ask you to apply for the institute, and once you apply for the institute, then they will have their sorting out scheme, and they'll give you a call back. After that, you are supposed to go for the interview, attend it, clear it, and then you have to join for the institute. Anyway, this is quite obvious. So as you asked, so I have told you the disciplines that IIT Kharagpur presently has for instrumentation students. So control systems engineering, instrumentation engineering, industrial management, solid state, and human resources. Out of which I am sure you want those first two, control and instrumentation, separately. Is the rank of 575 good enough to get into IIT Madras? Well, IIT Madras closes at 300 actually. I'm sorry for that. But if you want to get into research program, the research program is always a very topsy-turvy thing. So there is a probability of getting into IIT Madras purely for research with this rank. But I cannot guarantee that. They always look for your gate score, and it depends upon the gate score of this year, how it has been graded, and so on. But I'll tell you one very interesting fact about masters with research. This is supposed to be a secret. In the odd semester, that is in July semester, that is when the semester of the year begins, at that time the entire crowd of the country tries to apply for masters in research. But there is also an entrance in the second semester, okay, in the January semester. At that time, most of the students they don't have an idea that you can actually apply for in that time as well. So what you can do is, in case you don't get into IIT Madras at this time, try to get into any institute that is of your comfort. Get into the institute, keep your academics going on, and in January, somewhere in September, they have a new application coming up. So at that time, apply back to IIT Madras. So with the same score and the same rank, you have actually a much better opportunity in IIT Madras with that score. At that time, the number of students who apply are much lesser as compared to the students who apply in the middle of the year, like in July, August. So that is a very good chance for you. So please keep that in mind. Are there any chances in IISc Bangalore with AR 37? Yes, there are. Below 30, if you have a rank, then you can get an admission directly into IIT Madras. You don't even ask for an interview. There is a branch called Instrumentation and Applied Physics. So in that, you can directly enter into. But if your rank is above 30 or 40 in that range, I'm saying it's not that it is impossible for you. It might still be possible for you. But with that rank, you can always go for a master's in research or a PhD program, where they have a test and interview, and you can get into that. And also, one thing that you should keep in mind is, please do apply for, other branches like CET and CET in IISc Bangalore, or computer science or some other departments, where you can actually get a call, but you still have to go and write a test, clear it, and then write an interview again. So yeah, please keep your hopes open. 37 is a very good rank actually. I congratulate you for that. Then which IITs are good for MS program according to my rank, which is 520. Okay. Ideally, masters in research depends upon the research that the student is undergoing. And since we are instrumentation guys, we have very good research going on in Iit Bombay, which is biomedical instrumentation, in Iit Madras, which is also biomedical instrumentation, in IISc Bangalore, where instrumentation and applied physics goes on, a very good research goes on there as well. And with 520, I'm sure you can get into Kharagpur as well. Kharagpur also, I'm not so sure about Kharagpur statistics right now, but yeah, research goes on in all the IITs very well. So what you should be doing is getting into contact directly with the professors of that institute. They are very happy to help you. Drop in a mail. If they reply, it is well and good. But most of the time, they do reply within a day. So it's not very difficult. You see, you get into instrumentation of whichever institutes. But in your case, with a rank of 520, you can get into the instrumentation of IIT Kharagpur. So just check for the professors in that department and try to focus them and send them a mail. Sir, I'm interested in joining your institute, and please let me know of the research statistics there, and just tell your score and rank. They'll be happy to help you. Okay. Or maybe it is even better to get in touch with the department first. There might be more. They might have specific staff assigned for these Q&As, FAQs. Okay. The next. Please. do IITs or NITs take on the basis of gate score or rank? Well, they take on the basis of gate score, but it always is interlinked with the term of the rank. The rank and score are actually interlinked. So, by the way, your application procedure comes with in the view of your gate score, not the gate rank, because the ranks can go up and down during years, but your scores cannot go up and down so much. So they always focus on gate scores to have a better idea. So yeah, they do basis it on gate score. With AR 82, is there any chance in Iit Bombay and Iit Madras? Yes, there is. With 82 rank, there is a very good score in Iit Madras, but in research part, in Bombay also in research part. So please try for that. Try for MS Masters by Research. But actually, if you want to finish your MTech and go for a job, then you can actually get into any other institute like Delhi or Kanpur and Kharagpur and so on, where you can finish your Masters in 2 years and go for a better job. But if you're aiming at research, so then you always have an opportunity in Iit Madras and Iit Bombay. You have a very good opportunity actually. So make your decisions carefully, because in one place you are not so much the cream, not so much welcome, but in some other place you are like the celebrity there. So make your choices wisely. Okay. But one thing is there, if you can somehow come into Iit Madras or Delhi or Bombay or IIC Bangalore and so on, the students who are coming there really, really good. So you'll have an impetus to work yourself and come up to their standards. So that is what you should keep in your mind when you choose between. So first of all, decide whether you want to get into research or you want a job after 2 years. So if that is clear, then you can make your choices after that. Okay. Then yes, yeah. Any more questions? Among the new IITs, I would say, okay, the question is, among the new IITs, which rank is better and suitable for them, and what career is better, MS or MTech? MTech is for finishing it in 2 years and getting job and then running away. But MS is for research. So once you do your research, and after clearing your research, you have a very good opportunity to apply abroad. Yeah, this is one important factor about research. Let's say you now don't have an opportunity to go abroad. You do your masters by research, clear your masters, and then you'll get a nice paper. If you're from any of the IITs, you'll definitely get a very nice paper by the time you finish your 3 years. So take the strength of the paper, apply for universities abroad, and go for PhD abroad. It will help you a lot. It is very good, and you can finish your PhD abroad very, very quickly than what you can do in India. In India, we have a very huge scale and all those things. You have to clear comprehensive examinations and so on. So there is a very long time for that gap. What you can do instead is you can apply for PhD abroad and clear it, and then you have a very good opportunity after that. So in par with your question, yes, in terms of new IITs, if your rank is above 1000 and below say 2000, then all the IITs, new IITs like Hyderabad, Indore and Bhubaneswar and all these things are open for you, and they offer you a very good scope as well. But the placements I'm not quite sure, because they have just started, and as far as I know, they have just had their first BTech placements as well. I don't have the statistics for that, but as far as I know, they should be good. Okay. So it's time to wrap up. But if you have some more questions, quickly we can answer them. And since you have seen the notice, if you have any more questions, then you can just send a mail to info@thegateacademy.com. They will reply to you within 72 hours. Yeah, any last questions? Okay, I'll give you a small summary since you have no more questions. So I'll give you a small summary of what we have discussed so far. Okay, NIT Surathkal, a good option for rank 500. Again, it depends upon whether you want to do research or you want to get a job after 2 years. So that's what I should first ask. So if you want to get into research, then please, with your rank, you can actually get into premier institutes like Delhi, Kanpur, or Kharagpur, and so on. That might be a good option. But if you want to get into a NIT and then clear and get a job after that, then it is a good option for you.
Then can we expect
A call from the PSUs. Okay. I'm not quite sure about that, but you can, it is always available in the GATE Academy website, as well as they'll give you a call as soon as possible. In fact, when you apply within a month or two, they'll give you a call. So it is available in the GATE Academy website and also in the website of the PhD that you are applying for. So summing it up, first of all, decide your life's ambition. Do you want to get into masters and then go abroad and do PhD or do PhD here, or do you want to do just finish off 2 years for masters and then somehow get a job and then settle somewhere? Either of these two are good, but it depends upon your choice. So make your choice first, and then you can decide where you want to go. I'll give a small example. Let's say you have a rank of say 450. So with 450, you can get into, or let us make it even more closer. Let us make it 250. With 250, you can get into, masters by research in Delhi, Kanpur, Madras or Bombay and so on. But with the same 250, you can also get into MTech program in Kharagpur and Guwahati and Roorkee and so on. Now it's up to you what you want to choose. So do you want to do masters in premier institutes? Masters by research in premier institutes, which is MS in premier institutes, or do you want to, get MTech in fairly good colleges? That is your call. But weigh your chances carefully. If you get into MTech in fairly good colleges, then your friends will also be of the same level, and your impetus will not be so much. And if you get into masters by research in a premier institute, it is really good. You'll be really humble there. You cannot, you cannot come and say, I am the topper of the country and so on. That pride is gone, long gone. That is one thing. That's it. Oh, no, I cannot give it directly, I'm sorry. You can always drop a mail to info@the GATE Academy, and if it is very specific, then they will forward it to me, and I'll reply to you directly. I'm sorry for that. So first of all, decide whether you want to do research or you want a job. Once you have that, then it's done. Okay, then it's time to wind up. Thank you very much, and thank you for your comments.
Post it to info.
Yes. If you have any more queries, then you can post it to info@thegateacademy.com. If it is very specific about the field and all, they'll forward it to me and I will reply it back to you. Or in any other queries, they'll reply directly back to you. They have a very wide range of students, so they have so many friends and all, so they can call up anybody and find out. So, please be informed before you take a right choice. And please be careful. Okay? Thank you.